Today is September 24th, 2018. My name is Joe Todd. This is an interview with Charles Golden in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Sir, where were you born?
Roswell, New Mexico.
And when's your birthday?
August 10th, 48.
1948. Who was your father?
His name was, he went by his initials, H.B. Golden.
H.B. Golden. And your mother?
Anna Golden.
What was her maiden name?
Grooms.
Grooms. Did you go through school in Roswell?
No. I was born there, and from there we went to California, around Burbank, California, I think it was. And Dad worked in a meat packing plant. And then from there, I don't know how long we stayed there. We went to Locust Grove, Oklahoma, and that's where my grandmother lived.
Did you start school in California?
No.
Did you go to school at Locust Grove?
Yes, I started school in Locust Grove, and I went to about the I think it was about the 5th grade. And then we moved up here. Well, my mom and dad did, because they worked for my uncle on a farm. And then 1960, I ended up with blood poisoning in my foot and had to take a shot every day for about 2 weeks. And so his mom was qualified as a nurse's aide. She was the one that gave me a shot.
Mm-hmm. How'd you get blood poisoning?
I had I think it was a blood boil or something like that. Came up on my ankle, and it turned into blood poisoning. So then they, after get cleared up, they enrolled me in Okesa Public School, which was a little country school. Then after that, I went to Nalogany till I graduated in '67.
From the Logany High School?
Mm-hmm.
Did you help on the farm? Did you work on the farm?
Yeah, a little.
What'd you do?
Mainly worked in the garden,
Okay.
because my uncle had a thing that if you don't work, you don't eat.
What's your uncle's name?
His name was J. Frank Hall.
J. Frank Hall?
Yeah, the initial J, Frank Hall.
Haughg. How'd you spell his last name?
Hall.
Oh, Hall, Hall. Okay. Okay.
And I mowed the grass
Yeah.
around his house and stuff.
How big was Nelogany in those days?
How what?
How big was Nelogany in those days?
A spot in the road like Okisa.
Who was your favorite teacher?
I would say Mr. Cron. I don't know how to spell that.
Why was he your favorite?
I think he was all the kids' favorite because he was a class sponsor and he taught typing and plus he was principal of the school. We had a superintendent and we had him as principal.
What'd you do after high school?
I tried to get a job that summer and nobody wanted you until you had your military training out of the way. So I ended up joining the Army, and since I was adopted, my parents had to sign my papers too, and my dad wanted to know if that's what I really wanted, and I told him yes. So he signed the paper and I ended up going to Oklahoma City about 3 times, took physical tests, and then on my birthday that year, I raised my hand and was sworn in.
So that was August 10th, 1967.
67.
Where'd you go for your basic training?
Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Tell me about basic.
There's not much to tell. They run you through all kinds of PT and taught you how to shoot and march and run. We did a lot of running. And that was basically it.
Was basic geared toward Vietnam?
Yeah, Vietnam was going on at that time.
Were you in Tigerland?
No,
Okay.
after basic, I was sent to Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
How long did basic last?
I think ours was supposed to last 9 weeks, but it lasted, I think, around 8 weeks.
Okay. What'd you do at Fort Sill?
Learned to operate a 105 millimeter.
105 millimeter artillery. What's the crew of a 105?
Which what?
How many men on the crew of a 105?
At that time, I think it was about 6, maybe 7.
What'd you do in the 105 on the gun?
I started out by being, I want to say a flunky. You know, we, you worked your way up till you was loader, then they started teaching you how to be assistant gunner and then gunner.
What does each man, if there's 6 men, what does each man do?
Every man's job.
So what, there's the loader, the gunner, what else?
Assistant gunner. And then the others, depended on what time of day it was or night. You pulled shifts, stand up and let the others rest. Then later you went to bed and they would be up.
Okay. Now, is the 105 round, is it fixed ammunition? You have powder bags behind it?
You had powder
Powder
bags.
bags, okay.
They'd call out, section chief would be on the phone with, fire control.
Okay.
And they'd tell them how many bags to, he'd tell you how many bags to pull out. And you set the round down and handed it to the loader. Then,
Yeah.
Then after the fire mission, you cleaned up and
How you clean the gun, the 105?
you take the breech block out and break it down, and you swab the barrel like you would do in a rifle. Get it clean until there's no carbon and stuff on the inside. And then you work on the outside, cleaning it.
Were those guns towed or were they self-propelled?
No, they was towed.
They were towed.
Yeah.
Okay. How long did your training last at Fort Sill?
I can't remember how long it was, because by Christmas, they got us in formation and they started giving everybody their traveling orders of where they was going to be stationed. And I ended up having to go to Vietnam.
That was Christmas of '67.
Yeah, we got to leave to go home, or we had to.
Okay.
And in January '68, I had to go to Oakland, California, and then from there we went to Travis Air Force Base and flew out of Travis Air Force Base to go to Vietnam.
You recall the date you left the States?
January 14th.
What were you thinking on the airplane heading out going to Vietnam?
Nothing. Just going where I was told to go.
The plane landed where?
Benoit.
Benoit. What do you do at Benoit?
Replacement center.
Okay.
And from there, they shipped you out to whatever division you was gonna be assigned.
What unit were you assigned to?
Charlie Battery, 1st of the 8th Artillery, 25th Infantry Division.
25th Infantry. And where was the 25th Infantry based?
Coochie.
Coochie. Is that where you went, to Coochie? How'd you get to Coochie?
Flew up.
Flew up? What, by chopper?
No, it was on a C-123.
C-123. Okay. So you get to Charlie Battery, and what do you do?
Ended up going to school for about 3 days
What was the school for?
to teach us about booby traps, mines, and stuff like that.
Now, was Tet going on at this time?
Not yet.
Okay.
Tet, after I got in the field with my unit, that's when it started.
Okay. You know where you were in the field? Was it around Coochie?
No. I want to say it was Duckwa or something like that.
I'm sorry?
Duckwa,
Duckwaw?
Ducchoa, something like that.
How far from Coochie is that?
No, we flew on helicopter. You go out there
Yeah.
when Tet started. All the new guys in my unit had to go inside the Green Beret compound, and my unit was airlifted out to close to Saigon. And then that was one day, and the next day they came and flew us to where the unit was.
Okay. Were you one of the new guys?
Yeah,
So you went in the Green Beret, and so next day you flew down to Saigon with the unit?
yeah, wherever the unit was dropped off at.
Okay. What did you do during Tet? What happened?
Mainly did fire missions when they called it in.
What was your job on the gun during Tet? What did you do?
I fixed that.
I'm sorry?
Ammo. I fixed the ammo.
Okay. Now, how do you fix ammo?
When it comes in, you have to, it's, the canister is at the end of one part of the tube, the rounds are in the other part. You open the tube up, pull the round out, then you pull the canister out and set it up. And then they tell you what type of fuse to put on the round. And so you set the rounds up and whatever the round fuse they want on it, you put it on there. And then you lay it in this little bunker that they make close to the gun port. And you set the canisters to one side, rounds at the other end. Then when they call fire mission, you run and get to your place. Like at the time, I was to pull the bags out and set the round down and cut the string on it, because when you set the round down, it'll cut the string. And whatever bags left in there is what it shoots the round out.
How many, what are the different types of fuses?
There's PT, there's a time fuse, there was a VT fuse, and on the last two, you had to take this wrench when they called out to you. You had to set the numbers on it.
Now, what is PT?
Point detonate or something like that.
So it detonates when it hits?
Mhm.
Okay. And what is DT?
What is what?
DT,
It's a time fuse
time
for,
fuse, okay.
like VT, it's a time fuse.
Okay. Did you have white phosphorus rounds?
Yes.
Mhm.
Mainly the what we call the base piece. It fired the first round, and it usually was white prof. I can't even pronounce
Yeah.
the word now.
Willie Peter.
Yeah. We had illumination rounds. We had a beehive round.
Yeah, the little darts in it.
I only fired one of those one time.
When'd you fire that?
I can't remember exactly.
Because I was told the beehive round has 5,000 little metal darts in it.
Yeah, the only time you fired one of those was when you was about to get overrun. And you lower the barrel till it's level.
Ground level.
You get everybody behind the gun, and when they tell you, you let it rip.
You about to be overrun when you fired that?
And I guess they thought so, 'cause we was catching fire. We was by the village and set up in the schoolyard, and just out a little ways was a house, and there was I remember there was a PC hiding around the corner, and every now and then stick his gun out and shoot at us. And we was aiming for that house. And then when daylight came, we went out there, and there was a lot of blood out there. And on down the road, the infantry said there was a new fresh grave that wasn't there the day before.
Is that when you fired the beehive round? Mm-hmm. What did you think when Tet broke out?
Well, I was a new guy in country, and so us new guys, we were scared. We didn't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm. How long did Tet last?
I don't know for how long it was. I think it was till sometime in March.
Yeah. In that area, was it mainly VC or NVA during Tet?
Both.
Both. Now, did you ever go out on patrol? What do you do when you go on patrol?
Looking for any contact with the enemy. And you hope when you don't meet any, being an artilleryman,
Were you still around Duckwall at that time?
Saigon.
Oh, that's right. You're down at Saigon. Yeah, okay.
Chowan, I think they picked the place, it was Chowan District.
Cholong District. Mm-hmm. Come across any booby traps?
I didn't.
So after,
Some of the older guys did.
so after Tet, what'd you do?
We stayed in the field about once a great while. They flew us back in base camp, and we had a battery party, steaks and beer and coke. We stayed there about 2 days, they put us back out in the field.
Was this still down around Saigon?
We are base camp was Coochie.
Cochee, okay. So after Tet, did you move back up to Cochee?
Yeah, we had a party that night
Yeah.
when we got in. We cleaned up and got new uniforms.
Have any contact with the local people?
Not a Coochie.
Okay. What about down by Saigon?
Oh yeah.
What was their attitude towards you?
No, I didn't really have an attitude.
What was their attitude?
Oh, some of the, I guess you'd call them hookers, would come around and try to get you certain places and tell you we love you long time, GI. And I just let it go. Because we were under orders, we wasn't to leave our area.
Now, were these women coming into your area?
Close by.
Close by.
The infantry that was guarding us at day and night, they'd only let them come so far. And of course, they went out and talked to them and did their thing, and I just stayed inside while I was told to.
Any USO shows come through that area?
Yeah, Bob Hope.
You see Bob Hope?
I didn't see him. We were out in the field, but we heard him on the radio.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Any shows come to your area?
no, but we had Red Cross girls that we called them donut dollies that would come out and talk to us and bring us donuts.
What are the monsoons?
It's the rainy season.
What do you do during the monsoons?
Is what you do in the dry season.
What's that?
You hope you don't get a fire mission. When you do, you do what you gotta do.
How do you stay dry during the monsoons?
You don't.
You don't.
You only had two seasons over there. Hot and dry, hot and wet.
How about your shower facilities? You have a good shower facility there?
Base camp.
Base camp?
Each gun section ended up rigging up their own shower.
Okay. What type of quarters did you have when you were out in the field?
Bunker.
Bunker. How'd you build your bunker?
Sandbags.
Was it below ground or above ground?
A little of it was below ground, but mainly above ground.
Okay.
We used sandbags, and we used I think they called it PSP, the metal. And when we get the orders to move out, we'd empty the sandbags, stack the metal up, and they'd haul it out for us. Then we got where we was going, we start all over again.
How often would you move?
Not very often, 'cause I remember would stay in one place for like 3-4 months at a time.
Now, were you in LZ when you went out in the field? Were you in LZ or just you built your bunkers there with a perimeter?
Where they dropped us off at. Like, you could call it an LZ, because we were there for a long time. We'd had helicopters, Chinook 47s, bringing us bags of ammo or picking guys up that could go in and get a good shower and go to PX, and spend the night in base camp, then come out first thing in the morning.
How often would you go back to base camp and take a shower?
I got to go back about 3 different times.
Okay. You take an R&R over there?
Yeah,
Where'd you go?
Australia.
Australia. How was Australia?
It was nice.
What'd you do there?
I walked around and looked at the scenery, and at night would go to this one club, they called it Whiskey a Go-Go, and they had a tour that you could take on a boat that took you around the harbor. And I went out on it. They furnished all the drinks and all the food. And they were still building on the Opera House.
So you in Sydney?
Yeah,
Stayed at the Chevron Hotel?
I don't remember the name of the hotel I stayed in.
I stayed at King's Cross when I was in Australia. What was the attitude of the Australian people toward you?
Toward me, remember this young couple walking by me, and the girl saying something about us trying to fit in, and we just didn't fit in. So, and at night you had to wear a jacket. That was her custom down there. I wore my blue jeans and long sleeve shirt and a jacket. But it was nice.
Back in Vietnam, how often did you come under rocket or mortar fire?
Oh, a few times often, and then other times it'd be a long time.
What did you do during the rocket and mortar attacks?
Mainly get in bunkers until they hollered fire mission. Then you run out to the gun and set your numbers and everything. And when they said fire, you fired. That was it.
Now, were you living in tents out there?
No,
Were you living in the bunkers?
bunker.
You lived in the bunker the whole time. How big was the bunker?
Well, big enough that mm, 4 or 5 men could sleep in it. Or under a mortar attack, you could get, I don't know, more than that in
Yeah.
it.
So, did your job change on the gun while you were out there?
Oh yeah, I just before I left Vietnam, I was the gunner.
Okay. The gun, that's when the fires the gun?
Mm-hmm.
You have to pull the lanyard? Okay. You have trouble cleaning the gun over there?
hose a few times to brush. Like if you ended up with a new brush, it was hard to get it started in the tube. And then you have to run it all the way down and pull it back up just before it came out. You run it back down in there a few times, and then you I'm trying to think. I think we ended up running some rags down there to wipe the inside out.
Okay. Did you oil the gun?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of oil did you use on those guns?
We used a light coat,
A what?
a real light coat
Okay.
of oil.
Okay. What's your best memory of Vietnam?
Getting on the plane and coming home.
What's your worst memory of Vietnam?
I guess my first Friday night in country, been down there in mortar attack and getting scared to death, and I just took off running. I didn't know where I was going, but I was running until the next thing I knew, this lieutenant from the 101st Airborne threw me to the ground and told me to crawl over to this bunker, and then when it was over with, he royally chewed me out. He told me, he says, when somebody hollers incoming, you fall flat till you know where the round's gonna hit, then you crawl to the nearest bunker and get in it. And I told him, I said, I'm new in country. This is my first Friday night in country, and we didn't know what to do. All we knew to do was run. And so he straightened me out about that.
So you had the 101st Airborne down where you were too.
Yeah,
Where did that happen?
part of them.
Was that happened around Cu Chi?
Mm-hmm.
So how long were you in Vietnam?
A year, first time.
First time. Tell me about coming home.
Wasn't very pleasant.
Why?
It was the hippie time then, you know. Some of them ended up calling us baby killers and spitting on us.
Where'd you land?
Back at Travis.
Travis.
Then we went to, what do they call that place? Oakland. I want to say Army Terminal, but it was some type of terminal. And then they got you fitted for your dress screens and fed you a steak, and then sent you on your way.
What'd you do when you got back from Vietnam?
came home. And ended up getting married, getting stationed up in Fort Lewis, Washington, with a self-propelled 155 unit. And it seemed like most of the time we were out in the field there, so I re-enlisted and went to Fort Eustis, Virginia to become a clerk, transportation clerk. And with my MOS that I got there, I could have been stationed at any place in the world where we had a embassy or whatever. 'Cause I was the one that made arrangements for their transportation.
And where'd you go?
Right back to Vietnam.
Where were you based in Vietnam the second time?
Quin Yon,
Quin Yon. What'd you do in Quin Yon?
full guard duty. First 6 months.
Now, when'd you land in Vietnam the second time?
Oh, about January 8th or 9th,
Of what year?
1970.
1970. What unit were you assigned to?
(261st Trans Command).
260th Trans,
60. 261st
261st Trans,
Transportation Command.
okay.
And then later they became part of the 5th Trans Command. We ended up getting our own designation, and what do you call them, shoulder patches.
Yeah. So you were a separate unit then?
Mm-hmm.
So it became the 5th Transportation Command? What was your job over there?
Pulling guard duty.
Pulling guard duty. But you weren't a clerk?
I was a clerk, but that is all pulling guard duty.
Why?
You'd have to ask the brass about that.
Now, was Quin Yon pretty secure when you were there?
Yes or no? Across the bay, you could see them having firefights. We stayed there. I stayed there 6 months, and then the unit was transferred to Da Nang.
Didn't I?
'Cause we worked with the Navy to take over running what they call a deep water port.
Now, when you were down at Quin Yon on guard duty, what were you guarding?
If you was lucky enough, you guarded any ships that was in the port. Like, I remember having to walk on the up here, this way, that way, go up the gangplank, walk around to the other side of the ship, looking in the water. Then back over, come off the gangplank, walk to the end of the pier, like that.
What are you looking for?
Anything suspicious, like,
Find anything?
every now and then I see a, tree trunk or,
Ever see a sampan around there?
no,
What type of quarters do you have down at Quinn Young?
two-story buildings.
Were they made by the Americans or were they
Yeah.
already?
Yeah, they were made by us.
Were they wood, stone?
Yeah, wood and tin roof.
Were they two-story barracks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Now, why'd you go to Da Nang?
To work with the Navy, they was teaching us to take over the pier because they was being pulled out.
Okay. So you,
I hated to see them go because they had some of the best chow.
yes, they had a good mess hall at Da Nang.
Yeah, they had a truck, like a food truck, here at home, that would come down there and feed you, and you had choices of 3 meats, all kinds of vegetables, and dessert. If you wanted all 3 meats, you got all 3 meats. Where in a Army unit, you only got whatever they send down there to you.
So did you take over the Deepwater Port?
Yeah,
What'd you do there?
but
Guard duty. About the same thing you did?
no, being worked my MOS clerk.
Oh, you were a clerk there, okay. And what type of reports were you making up?
We take the manifest and write down what came in on this, what ship, and then file it away. If something came up, then we would have the record of it.
Now, were you in the 5th Transportation Command up there? Okay. What type of quarters you have at Da Nang?
Used to be an old hospital that they put us in. NCOs had their own private little room, and E4s and below slept so many to the room.
Have any contact with the local people up at Da Nang?
Not really
Okay.
contact with the Koreans, but
How were the Koreans?
They were nice to us, but rough to the Vietnamese. That's the one that I knew real good, got to know real good. You tell these Vietnamese something to do, and if you didn't do it, he'd walk up and slap him upside the head, or knock him down, and say something in Korean, and the guy would get up and go do it.
How long in Vietnam, the second tour?
Till December 1st, 1970.
And then you came home. Tell me about coming home that time. Tell me about coming home the second time.
It wasn't bad. We didn't have nobody running up to you.
Have any protesters that second time?
Not that I seen.
Yeah. Where'd you land the second time?
I think up at Air Force Base close to Seattle.
You flying to SeaTac?
Yeah.
Okay. How long were you in the Army after you came back the second time?
When I came home, I got stationed at Fort Sill at the transportation office. And from there, we come down with a, as they called it, a urgent levy to go to Germany. So I ended up in Germany at a place called Camp King.
Where's that located in Germany?
Frankfurt on the Main.
Okay. What'd you do there?
Run errands.
What unit were you with in Germany?
I don't remember that.
Okay. How long were you in Germany?
Want to say till about a year till I went AWOL.
Then you came home? What's your best memory of Germany?
My best memory? Oh, the scenery, nice and green, and you could go downtown and not fear about anybody hurting you or anything like that.
What was the attitude of the German people towards you?
I would say not bad at all. I learned that when they invite you to their house, you always had to drink something. Beer, schnapps, or coffee or water or whatever you wanted. And if you were invited for dinner, you always took the lady at the house, or the house, a present, you know, like you might pick up a bottle of wine and take to them, take the ladies flowers.
Have a good time in Germany?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I had a blast while I was in Germany. I had plans on going to, taking leave and going to England and walking around there, and but it didn't work out.
Yeah. So when were you discharged?
September 29th, 1972.
What did you do after you got your discharge?
Bummed around for a while. Mainly didn't do nothing. And then, while I was in Texas, I joined the Texas National Guard, another artillery unit. And then ended up moving back home, and once a month driving to Texas for guard drill,
What part of Texas?
Wichita Falls.
Wichita, okay.
And then I ended up staying with this guard unit up here, and they would show that when I had guard drill down in Texas, usually it came on the same day that they did, and that I showed up for guard drill, and, you know. And he ended up staying in National Guard 16 years.
So you retired from the National Guard. When did you come to Bartlesville? Why'd you come here?
This is where Mom and Dad was.
Okay. Would you join the Army again?
In a heartbeat.
I'd like to do a word association. I'll give you some words and you give me your reaction. The first one is basic training.
It was hard.
Coochie.
Home base.
Charlie Battery, 1st the 8th Artillery.
Automatic 8.
I'm sorry.
The automatic 8.
What's the automatic 8?
That's his nickname.
105 millimeter.
Cannon.
Duck wall.
First time I seen an American soldier killed.
What happened?
Mortar attack, and he was manning the radios in a Jeep, and the shell hit close by and took the top of his head off.
Tet.
take over the country.
Vietnam.
It'd have been a nice place if there wasn't the war.
Australia.
Loved the place.
War protester.
Just like 'em.
Germany.
Beautiful place.
Lyndon Johnson.
LBJ. I have no say about that.
Richard Nixon.
Tricky Dicky. He thought he was above the law.
How do you want to be remembered?
Oh, this guy that went to wherever his country needed him and served there and came home and become a family man. And that's it.
You know, I didn't ask, when you went out to the field, how'd you move your guns, your 105?
By helicopter.
By helicopter. By Chinook or Huey?
Most of the time, Chinook.
Chinook. So you get the 105s in the Chinook. Okay.
No, they slung it
This is
under the Chinook.
What does a 105 weigh?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's been so long.
Okay. But they slung all the guns out to where you were. When you were.
Gun and an ammo bag.
Anything else you want to talk about?
That's basically it.
Well, sir, this is an excellent interview. I want to thank you for your service and thank you for the interview.
You're welcome.
And again, this is September 24th, 2018. My name is Joe Todd. This has been an interview with Charles Golden in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Thank you.